And what I really like about the franchise industry is, like you say there's this real, like, desire to just go and help people. I think
Yeah.
that's a big reason why a lot of people franchise, and that, yes, okay, we've got something here, supply and demand, we can make money from it, we can expand it. But genuinely within the lifestyle sector of franchising, where Techy Tots sits, like it is, there's a really innate feeling of warmth and wanting to help people. And whether that's to give them courage or freedom, or they all kind of interlink into the same things.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Disruptive Franchise podcast. This week, I'm joined by Julie Barber from Techy Tots. Hey, Julie.
Hiya, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on. You have been involved in the Disruptive Franchise Awards long term, like me. You're a legend. This year, you were finalist in Lifestyle Franchise Award, and last year, you were finalist in two. Actually, you were Inventive and Franchisor of the Year. So well done, firstly, for being a very esteemed guest.
Thank you.
Tell everybody listening a little bit more about you and Techy Tots.
So I am the franchisor of Techy Tots. So we work with children in primary school, introducing them to coding. We do it all offline, so it's all through play, because we really believe in that ethos of children learn best through play. Lots of times parents will ask, what have you done today? And they'll say, I played with robots. But actually they've learned what debugging is, or they've learned what an algorithm is. So we're really keen to make sure that they keep that fun element of it. It's been going, Techy Tots has been going since 2017. I joined as a franchisee in 2018, and then I took over as franchisor in 2021. So it's been a journey.
A big journey. I get this a lot, actually, with quite a few of my guests. It's my background as well, to start as the franchisee and then it develops into something else. So tell us what that was like, because obviously 2021, the world had changed a little bit. So what was it like becoming franchisor?
It was more of a learning curve than I expected, if I'm honest. And it was sort of a gamble, because we weren't running any classes, because we're all hands on and the equipment we use is expensive. We didn't want to take it online anyway, because that completely defeats what we do. So yes, a few franchisees left during COVID, as across the board, I think that happened. But yeah, it was a gamble, but it was one that I knew absolutely, had no doubts about. I wasn't done with Techy Tots, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And I had loads of ideas, and it was just, yeah. So then once I'd done it, it was quite good that we were quiet, because it gave me, I'd done like a business course, I'd done franchising courses. I really upskilled myself so that I could help the franchisees and hopefully be a good franchisor.
What's been your biggest challenge as a franchisor?
I think recruitment's been quite hard, if I'm honest. I didn't realise necessarily how long the recruitment process took. And because I just sort of bought it, I sort of went quite quickly. My sister was looking at it, and she's our franchisee in Horsham. And then she was like, what do you think? I was like, go for it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go for it as well. So I made that decision quite quickly, and then realised that not everybody necessarily does make that decision quite quickly. So that's been quite a challenge, just and getting the systems in place and just making sure that it runs smoothly and I can be there for everybody as and when they need me.
Yeah, definitely. I'd echo that. Recruitment is generally the thing that catches franchisors out, because, like, for me, I was the same. I knew what I wanted to do. I went and did it. And it was quite a quick transactional process. Like, I'm in, let's go. But yeah, not everybody has that kind of same, I guess it's that desire, immediate desire, isn't it? Like, I had that immediate desire as a franchisee. But yeah, and I think from what I'm getting from you, obviously you said today you've invested in yourself, you've upskilled yourself, you've done business courses, franchise courses, and you said there again in your answer, like, it's really about trying to help your franchisees. What is it that drives that in you?
I think having been a franchisee myself, and when I started very part-time. My daughter was struggling at school, my youngest, so it was very much around her and it fit really well. And then as she got older and luckily became sort of, I don't know quite know what the word is, but she was going to school again and everything became a bit easier for her. It gave me the chance, and with doing it full time, it's literally changed my life and how I live. We were quite sort of breadliney when I started, I was getting universal credits and the change in me, I just want to be able to offer that to other people. Like, I know how hard it is to live in that situation, and to be able to do something effectively 5 hours a week, you've got your admin and your prep, but your delivery is 5 hours a week if you're doing it on your own. And just doing it by yourself, you can make a huge change. And then if you take on staff, it just explodes, really. And I think helping other people do that is just really, it's important to me to be able to help people change their lives the way I did, really.
I love that. I really do. I find this more and more through these conversations on the podcast. I think everyone thinks about business and money, but it's not at all. It's business and impact, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's freedom. It's having that sort of financial freedom as well of, you can buy the kids new shoes and you haven't got to save up 3 weeks for it. Just things like that. And you're not worrying about your mortgage or that, you can pay your bills and actually still go on holiday and things like that. It's the freedom that it gives you and being your own boss. I've had lots of jobs, and I mean lots of jobs before I done this, and actually figured out that, yeah, I need to be my own boss. That works better for me.
Yeah. I think there is a power in that realization as well, isn't there? Like I do a lot of franchisee recruitment and a lot of them are like, oh, I don't know about being my own boss. Like once you taste that, you will love it and you'll never look back. I can't imagine going back into corporate having had, like you say, all that freedom to run my own business and go and earn the money. And, like it's a risk, but it's such a positive change when it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does make so much difference. Totally, my life is completely unrecognisable to what it was in 2018. It's just huge, the difference it's made.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I think as a person as well, it draws strengths out of you that you weren't necessarily too sure about before. Like, and I don't know about you, but kind of that like that self-confidence, that inner belief that maybe was there when we were younger, kind of disappears a little bit. You get a little bit lost, and then suddenly when you're self-employed, particularly in franchise, when you're responsible for other people, it kind of just comes back in abundance, right?
Yeah, yeah, and there's definitely a bit of imposter syndrome when you first start. I know for me, I thought, "Oh God, nobody will talk to me like I used to be a franchisee," but it's totally not like that especially in the children's activity sector. Like, I don't know the other sectors, but especially in our sector, it's just everybody is just so friendly. And actually now, sort of these years on, I still get a bit nervous at going to things, but I do feel like I belong there now, whereas before I'd try and be like all meek and in the corner.
Yeah, hiding yourself away. I don't get that from you at all though. When we go to events together, I'm like, there's Julie, like she's enhanced it. You're one of the like go-to people to go and be like, yeah, hi, how you doing? Like you're so ingrained in it all. It's lovely, really lovely.
Oh, that's good to hear.
With obviously being a tech-based franchise, how has innovation been important for your business over the years?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to keep up with the trends, we've got to keep up with the latest equipment and the latest robots. And when we do our lesson plans, we employ people, so they're current computing leads at schools. So we try and stay in line with the national curriculum. So I'm not a teacher. I haven't got the background in planning lessons. So I outsource that. And like I say, we get people that are in the day-to-day school that know what the goals are and the targets so that we can match our lesson plans to it. And it's just making sure we keep ahead, really.
Yeah, amazing. And I guess as well with tech, it's something that you have to be on top of because it changes so rapidly, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've got AI coming up, and we're figuring out how we can still get that in, but still be offline. So it's that balance at the moment of sort of, I mean, saying coming up, it's here already, isn't it? It's not coming up at all, but it's just getting that balance of teaching it, but still in the way we teach. So offline through play and just trying to find the best toys essentially to introduce to the classroom, and just keep that. But it's so, we teach the fundamentals. We're teaching, young children, but when they get to, senior school and they're starting to do, they already know what an algorithm is. They already know what debugging is. So they've already got that basic knowledge. So it just gives them confidence as they go through school that they're not learning something completely new. They can go, oh yeah, I learned that at Techy Tots. It's nice to give them that confidence as well.
Definitely. I think it's a really valuable thing to give them young. My boys are gamers. They love the games. Finn, age 8, already wants to be like, I want to make games. Like he's so excited by this. And we don't have Techy Tots in school, sadly, in the school that they go to, but they went into a coding club that was run by one of the teachers last year. And they came out just like, my boys don't talk very much about what happens at school. They're very much a closed door, like they'll process it and then they'll get, they don't want to talk about their day. They're over it. But they come out actually talking about, well, Mum, do you know what an algorithm is? And they explained it and stuff like that. And at like age 7, 8, like it's a world apart from where I was as
Yeah.
a for sure. So yeah, I think it's such a good thing to give them because it's the world that they live in, isn't it? They live in a tech world more than we
Yeah.
ever did, which is amazing. What is in the pipeline for Techy Tots? What's the future? What does it look like?
So Techy Tots is going to continue growing. We're continuing working with the teachers to get the lesson plans, and we're looking into what new sort of robots and concepts we can use in class. But we're also launching a sister company, which is going to be Techy Steam Explorers. So that is more about the whole STEAM education. And we've added the A in because a lot of people know about STEM, but STEAM has got the art in there. And I think it's important that they can be creative as well as learn all the science, technology, engineering, art and maths. So it just covers, so we've still got techie, the tech in the T for technology, but it gives them a broader sort of experience where they get to make a volcano or build a bridge or, create a canvas. It just gives a broader thing. And we've been doing it in our summer camps here in Sutton, where I run my franchise still. And that's what sort of sparked the idea. Is we do summer camps and we call them STEAM camps, even though they were still Techy Tots at the time. And we do all those things, and the kids really get so much out of it, and they work together. And, we've been doing it for a few years now, and friendships are made, and they're not all from the same schools. And I just thought, like, it's been percolating for a while, and now we're sort of launching. I'm launching today as we record the podcast. We're doing the launch. So yeah, by the time this comes out, everybody will know about it. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's really good. And our current Techy Tots franchisees are joining us on the Techy Steam Explorers journey as well. So that's great. And we've been, like I say, trialing it here, and it's working really well. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And that's incredible news. So exciting. And like, from your point of view, because you are still a franchisee operationally, and you have that end user, has that been really handy for you? Like you say, they're in the summer camps, to be able to test the concept and go, well, actually, let's expand this. Like, if you didn't have that, would you have kind of gone, say, full steam ahead? Pardon. Would you have gone ahead with something like this, like of a concept? Like, how has testing that been important?
Yeah, I mean, that's made all the difference. So we done it at summer camp, and then the last half term before the summer break, we done it in 2 of our after school clubs that we run. And we've come back in September, and we're still doing it in those 2 after school clubs. And the children love it. And I try not to go to the after school clubs too often, because I have a tendency to take over.
No.
That's like, oh no. So I've been like giving out the lesson plans to my teachers and saying, come and feed back to me. And they, we've made some tweaks because they're, doing it in the real world, just so to speak. And I did cover a lesson for one of my teachers, and she was on holiday the other week, and it was so much fun. And the kids were like, and I was like, do you know what STEAM stands for? And they all knew what it stood for. And what did you do last week? So yeah, it's really, I don't know that I would have done it had I not been able to test it. I don't even know if it would have been an idea if I wasn't doing it in our summer camps, to be fair, because Techy Tots is doing so well. I'm so happy with that it probably wouldn't have evolved into it, to be honest.
I love that, though. Like, that is the whole thing with the Disruptive Franchise Awards. Just because something's working doesn't mean we want to break it, but actually, how can we add to it? How can we just tweak it a little bit and make it better? And a whole franchise has come out of that. Incredible. You're like the most disruptive franchisor ever, because you've created another.
Why not?
Why not? What was the thinking, Julie, behind doing it completely separate to Techy Tots? Because I know it's a sister, so there'll always be the connection. But why not modify, like, just for like the benefit of everyone listening? Like, why not modify what you've got? Why do it separately?
Well, I did initially think about that. So initially, I was going to change the Techy Tots logo and just become Techy Steam Explorers. But actually, Techy Tots works so well. And, we've got across the network full classes with waiting lists. Schools, really love us. We do enrichment days. So it seemed crazy to just sort of almost throw that away and start something new. Whereas this will complement it. And anybody coming on board will have the option of whether they want to do Techy Tots or Techy Steam Explorers. Both are there available, or the combination of both, depending on what you're looking for. Initially it was going to be sort of, let's get rid of Techy Tots, for want of a better phrase, and do Techy Steam Explorers. And then it was like, that's crazy. And it just sort of took a bit of, I talked it through with the franchisees. We all sort of had a chat about it, and the end result was, let's make it 2 separate things. Like, if it's working, like you say, I sort of burn it down when it's working so well. So
Yeah, that's why I agree. I'm glad Techy Tots isn't going anywhere. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's really nice to hear that collaborative process as well, though, with your franchisees, because I think that, again, there's a little bit of perception challenge there. which I really love, in that we kind of think like, well, the franchisor is the one who, a lot of business owners franchise. I know you weren't the original franchisor, but a lot of people franchise because they want full control and they want to drive their ship and have people come on board. But actually, you've got a really lovely little network there of like collaboration and feedback loops and things like that. How important is that in your experience as a franchisor?
I mean, it's so important. It's just, even if there's a lesson plan that works better, if some of our franchisees are former teachers, some of them have been doing it like Sarah for as long as I have, so there's tweaks. You get the lesson plans and you put them in place. But I love getting feedback, and that's what I've said about the Steam Explorers ones, that as they roll out, there may be stuff that you find works better or doesn't work quite so well. So just let me know. It is collaborative. As much as I'm the franchisor, it's your business. And my goal is to support you and make it work for you. So if there's changes to be made or feedback, I'm really open to it. And I think, having been a franchisee, that's what makes the difference. I know how important it is to make it work for me, and actually that worked a bit better, and I'm quite lucky that I've got Sarah, my sister, in Horsham, because she's brutally honest with me, but equally my biggest cheerleader. But she's not, there's less of a barrier there, I suppose, because we're family. We can chat about it and sort of she'll sort of give me her opinions on stuff maybe more openly than some of the other franchisees, because they're not family. They might worry about saying stuff. But yeah, it's so important, I think, because as much as it is sort of my baby, if you like, each area is theirs. So they need to be comfortable to work together and make it work for them as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really important aspect that you said there, like, it's your baby, yes, but equally it's theirs. And having been a franchisee as well, like, feeling like you've got the control in something that you've invested in without maybe all of the responsibilities is really nice. But it's very frustrating when you hit a wall of like, no, you can't, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. So actually to come at it as a true partnership, I think is so important for the success of the franchisee. And throughout our entire chat, everything I've got from you is about making it a successful for the franchisee, whether that's the development you put into yourself or how you've developed the ideas and the branding, and then the sister company and the collaboration. Like, everything that's fed through this chat is all about making those franchisees successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, and ultimately, as a franchisor, you haven't got a business if you haven't got successful franchisees. So, it's got to be about them. It can't all be, it's lovely that I get to go to the awards and I get to go and meet all my friends in different, conferences or wherever. That's a very nice perk for me, if you like. But, it is important. They've invested not just in Techy Tots, but they've invested in me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to let them down. I just don't want to let people down, especially when they've invested and it's something that I know works for me still in my area, in my territory. So I know it can work for them. So yeah, it's really important that they do succeed and they do well and it changes their life. That's the goal.
Yeah. I love that. I really love that, because it's true. I think a lot of franchisors are a bit scared to say it's life changing. You're going to change people's lives, but you genuinely are. As it genuinely did change my life. It changed the freedoms that I had. It changed the options that I had. It gave me more control over my future. And I think it's quite refreshing to hear a franchisor just be really comfortable with that is what we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken me a while to get comfortable with it, if I'm honest, but it's my journey. So I can't I can't say that it hasn't changed my life. So, it's just what I've lived. So yeah, but yeah, I felt a bit about saying it when I first started as a franchisor. I was always a bit nervous about choosing my words correctly and things like that. But actually, it's honest. It's what it is. So I've learned to embrace.
Own it. Yes, we
Yeah.
want to own these things. Absolutely, we want to own this. I love it. How are you feeling about having two franchises, though?
I'm excited. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited. But I think it helps that they're going to be sister companies. So it's not like I've gone from Techy Tots to First Aid, for example. Like, I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing with that. But, yeah. So it helps. But yeah, it's really exciting and I'm looking forward to it. I know it's more work for me but equally, it's still going to be collaborative with the franchisees and we'll sort of have that network of both sort of companies coming together. And I think it will help new franchisees as well, because the Techy Tots franchisees have been going for so long, they can bring something to the table as well.
Yeah, definitely. And what I actually really like about it objectively is that you're not introducing a whole load of overwhelm into your existing franchise. You're keeping your franchise what works simple. Obviously, it's not simple, it's a complicated, but simple, so for the franchisees to stay successful rather than heaping on this other stuff. And there's an option for them to be involved in that if they want to. And I think often franchises, as we try to build, they go wrong because we try and go, oh, we can do this now, or there's a complementary thing and we can add this in. And actually it gets a bit muddied into what are we there to do? What do the franchisees love to do? And I really admire that kind of keeping everything really simple, keeping it, sistered but separate, and continuing with the franchisees in mind. I love that, Julie. I really do.
Thank you.
We ask everybody, if there was one thing that you could do without failing, wave that magic wand, what would you do?
Oh, see, I'm still thinking about this. Sure.
Every guest who comes on for the listeners, like we have a chat before we hit record, and we'll go through like how it's going to run, and then I'll say to the guest to prep them, like, I'm going to ask you like this question, and everyone goes, no, I don't know. So Julie, tell us.
I think courage, like help people have more courage, because I know what held me back for a long time was being scared of doing stuff. And I think looking at my children and my friends and my friends' children, my children in their 20s, and so all my friends' children and so. And I think having that courage to try something new, and the risk of failing, but also imagine if you succeed, it's that sort of take a deep breath and step into it, because the worst that can happen is you fail and you go back to getting a regular job. Like, that's pretty much what I thought when I took it on. It was like, I'll get, worst that can happen is it won't work and I'll get another job. So I think in not just in franchising, but in lots of aspects of, it's so hard out there at the moment across the board that it's quite easy to stay sort of meek and quiet. So I think actually having the courage to be yourself and do what you want to do and step out is I don't know if that's the right answer. I don't know if it really answers the question, but yeah, I think courage to be yourself and have courage in your convictions. Don't be so worried about what Instagram thinks. I think is the lesson that I've learned as well.
I love that. Yeah, I get that. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's a wide open question. And yeah, what I really like about that is it's that help for other people.
Yeah.
Help other people.
My daughter told me my love language is helping people.
I like that.
And I was like, well, yeah, I think you're right there, actually.
Speak to so many people in franchising and kind of say, okay, well, what are you in it for? Like, I want to help people. I think that's what makes the franchise industry so, unique compared to my other lived experiences. I worked in car rental. That was not very friendly. I worked in toy industry was very friendly, but very competitive. And sport's not the friendliest place to work because everyone's competing with everyone.
Yeah.
And what I really like about the franchise industry is, like you say there's this real, like, desire to just go and help people. I think that's a big reason why a lot of people franchise, and that, yes, okay, we've got something here, supply and demand. We can make money from it, we can expand it. But genuinely within the lifestyle sector of franchising, Techy Tots sits, like there's a really innate feeling of warmth and wanting to help people. And whether that's to give them courage or freedom, or they all kind of interlink into the same things, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, like I said before, everybody that I've met as a franchisor since taking over has just been lovely. Like, happy to share their systems when I first started, happy to talk through what they did for recruitment. Like nobody, I thought, they're all going to be my competitors. Nobody's going to talk to me. But it's not like that. When people say, collaboration over competition, like they mean it. And it's, quite shocking when you come into the industry, because it's not like you say in jobs, it's not like that in corporate companies, it's not like that at all. So it's a real culture change, and it's a lovely culture. It's really a nice place to be. Having some of my friends now are franchisors of other companies, and I never thought that would happen when I took over. So yeah, it's just a nice place to be.
It really is. What I love about recording this is that this comes up time and time again. It's like, it must be true of everybody's out there.
Yeah,
It's horrible. Like, it's just not like that. And I think where you sit within like the children's activity as well is particularly a lovely sector. Like, I come away from a lot of the events, and I hope people come away from the Disruptive Franchise Awards feeling inspired. I feel nourished. I feel like I've had a great, like few hours with lovely people who genuinely have your back and want to see you succeed. Like, I used to go to the What Car Awards, like back when I was in car rental, and it's like, you don't want to talk to anyone because everyone's so like against any kind of friendliness at all. I remember coming out of a black tie event once at the Dorchester in a whole nother life. And I took my other half with me, but he was like my plus one. We hadn't spoke to a single other person other than each other for hours. And we'd been sat around a big round dinner table having a 3-course meal. It was so unfriendly.
Crazy. Like, yeah, it's so different. Like the What's On for Kids Awards, for example, like we've been finalists for, I think this is our 4th year as a finalist. And I go by myself now. So I used to take my sister or my daughter, but now I go by myself. And I sit at tables with people I have no idea who they are, and we chat. And all right, at the end of the night, I'll go and find, my friends. But if I didn't think I was going to talk to people, going to somewhere like that on your own is quite a big thing. Like, it's a big award ceremony. But now I'm quite comfortable with that because I think, well, wherever I'm sitting, the people next to me will talk to me, and everybody's like, well, where are you from, and where are you from, and what are you a finalist in, and good luck, and like, they're not your friends on the table, but when your name comes up, they are cheering the loudest for you. And I can't imagine going somewhere and not speaking to other people on the table. It seems crazy, doesn't it? Such a different culture.
It really is. I actually genuinely really like to go to some of those things on my own because it means I'll go and talk to new people rather than if I go with somebody, I'll kind of stick with them a little bit. But actually, I genuinely love to go to events on my own now and talk to people because the industry is very warm.
Yeah. And the Disruptive Awards are like that as well. And it's quite nice to talk to people in different sectors as well. When we come to Disruptive Franchise, it's not all children's activities. So that's quite nice as well, having different perspectives. But again, everybody is friendly and happy to chat. And, there's no sort of barriers or coldness in the room. It's all very,
We're all quite sociable.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted the event. That's good. Awesome. Julie, best of luck with your brand new venture. I'm so excited to see how it plays out. Anyone listening that wants to get in contact with you, how do they find you?
So the easiest email is julie.barber@techytots.co.uk, and we have 2 websites now. So we have www.techytots.co.uk and Techy Steam Explorers.co.uk, which is going live tomorrow.
Exciting. We'll put all the links in the show notes so that people can go and
Brilliant.
quite easily there as well. Julie, thank you so much for being my guest today. I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you, as I always do.
Thank
and
you.
I'm pretty sure the listeners got some good insight there as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you all next week.